Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to start a new lesson, Narayanapura Incident. So before that, we are going to start this lesson. So we have to think about our Indian independence period. Dear students, when was our country got independent? Anybody? Yes. 1947, August 15. So our India got an independent movement. That at the time of Indian independent movement, so many peoples, they want to struggle against the British people or British administration. So then only some struggle or some movements are going in the at the time of that Indian independent movement. Some struggle. So here there is some protest against the British peoples are going here. So this is an incident called Narayanapura Incident. Here in this lesson, the students also participate in the movement or the march against the British people. It means the people, the students, they have to participate in the fight or struggle against the British administration. They have to march through all the students and also publics. This is the lesson how the students they have to march against the British administration. Dear students, here I am going to read this lesson. Look at the text. Are you coming, Manju? Babu asked. Coming where? Said Manju. Even as the brother and sister were talking, they heard musical words. They are coming, they are coming. The children, like others, rushed out, heedless of the rain. So policemen now appeared all along the road. Some of them walked in front of the students, some by their sides. By the students marched as if the police did not exist. They walked in complete silence. There were no slogans, no shouts, just the shuffle of feet, the drip of rain, and a low murmur from the watching crowd. Their arms must have had holding it up and way out for so long, but their faces were expressionless. Now the leaders of the procession, Suman was one of them. They saw in excitement had reached the barricades gates. A police officer, he was the DSP Mohan told them later come up to them. There was some conversation between him and the students. The students seemed to be arguing. The rain had lessened now, and the police officer took off his hat and ruffled his hair. Oh, that once he laughed, showing all his teeth. But the students remained serious. One of them handed him a piece of paper. He took it without glancing at it and nodded. The students turned their backs on him, and one of them shouted, Mahatma Gandhi ki Jai. The others shouted back loudly, and then they briskly marched back the way they had come. Is that all? Is that all? Manju asked the disappointed. What else did you want? A dance? A drama? Babu asked scornfully. Nevertheless, he understood her feeling and asked Mohan the same question when he returned home. Why did you go back too quickly? Why did you go back too quietly? Were you afraid of what the police would do? Mohan seemed immensely pleased and with himself scraped. Not in the least. We had planned it this way. We knew they would stop us at the gate. We knew they expected us to protest and won't be violent. Oh yes, they wanted us to do that so that they could beat us up and hurl us away to jail. But we were not prepared to go to a jail. Not as yet anyway, not until we have given them much more trouble. And so we decided we would give them no chance at all. What was the point then? Babu asked, while Manju listened earnestly. Her child tipped in her hands. It is like while Manju listened earnestly, her chin tipped in her hands. It is like a declaration of war. We have told them this is war for us and you are the enemy. You do not start a war without first declaring your intentions to you. Unless you are added Adolf Hitler, Amma, who had been quietly listening to them, said with a small smile, right, which was not, so that is how it is, and it was, and what was that paper you gave the policeman? Yes, dear students, here in this first paragraph, so here the students were marching on the road, holding the flag, and also they have to make a procession with silence. There is no slogan, there is no shouting on the road. Here, students called Manju and Babu also go with the procession. Are you coming, Manju? Babu asked. Here the students. Are you coming, Manju? Babu asked. Coming where? Said Manju. Even as the brother and the sister were talking, they heard musical words. So here, some procession is coming on the road. The Manju and Babu, they were asking with them, are you coming, Manju? So, are you coming, Manju? Babu asked. Coming where? The Babu asking, I am coming where? He said that Manju, even the brother and sisters were talking. They had musical words. They are coming, they are coming. The Manju said like this, they are coming, they are coming. The children like others rushed out, heedless of the rain. There was a rain falling at the time of procession. The children did not heed that rain, they neglect that rain and they participate in that procession. Policemen now appeared all along the road. Some of them walked in front of the students. Here, when the procession is going on the road, the policemen also they appeared on the road. They gave a security for them. They walked in front of the students. Some by their sides, by the students marched as if the police did not exist. The procession is going on the road. The police people also joining there beside the road and in front of the students. They walked in complete silence. That procession is going with complete silence. There is no slogans. They walked in complete silence. There were no slogans and no shouts. When the march or the procession is going on the road, there is no slogans or there is no sound at all. There is no shouting at all. Just the shuffle of feet, the drip of the rain, and a low murmur from the watching crowd. There was no shouting, there was no crying. So there is no slogans or shouting thing. Just they were the processioners or the students were marching on the road silently, and also they want to make some murmuring with each other. So Babu and there was a walk on the. There were no slogans and no shouts, just the shuffle of feet, the drip of rain, and a low murmur from the watching crowd. Babu and Manju looked early for Mohan, eagerly for Mohan. Babu and Manju looked eagerly for Mohan. Another one student is there. Their name was his name is there was Mohan. Babu and Manju, they were looking at the Manju Mohan earlier. So yes, there was a eagerly for Mohan. The Babu and Manju looked towards Manju, that Mohan eagerly. So yes, he was dressed in white pyjamas and cream colored shirt. So that Mohan was wearing the shirt, the color of the shirt was, that is pyjamas and cream colored shirt. With another boy, both holding aloft a picture of the Mahatma. That Mohan, he was also participating in the march, or he was holding the Mahatma Gandhi that photo in front of the marching or in the procession. The Babu and Manju eagerly look at this Mohan. So he holding the photo of this Mahatma Gandhi and he marched in front of that procession. Their arms must have a hand holding it up that way for so long, but their faces were expressionless. So where that march or procession was going, the people, there was no expressionless, there was no feelings at all. Now the leaders of the procession, Suman was one of them. So procession of the leader, there was a leader, his name was Suman. Suman is having the leadership, had a leadership of that procession. Now the leaders of the procession, Suman was one of them. They saw in excitement had reached the barricade gates a police officer. So there was a barricade or barriers are put from that police. Though there from that barriers the police officer was standing there. He was the DSP, Deputy Superintendent of Police officer. He was standing near the parade. So Mohan told them later, come up to them. There was some conversation between him and the students. When that Mohan he came near the DSP, there was a conversation between the students and also the police officer DSP. The students seemed to be arguing. The students were arguing with that police officer DSP. The rain had lessened now, and the police officer took off his hat and ruffled his hair. So when that rain was stopped, that police officer DSP he removed his cap from his head and ruffled his eyes. That and told later, come up to them. There was no conversation between him and the students. So then that Mohan called students. There was no conversation between the student and also police officer. The student seems to be arguing the rain and the lesson now, and the police officer took off his hat and ruffled his hair. Once he laughed, showing his teeth. So That students, when they met the DSP police officer, then he removed his hat and also he ruffled his eyes and he laughed with the students. But the students remained serious. One of them handed him a piece of paper. One of the students, among the students, they handed over that piece of paper to that police officer, DSP. He took it without glancing at it and read it. He took it. So that police officer, he took that piece of paper and he it and read it without glancing at it. The police officer did not glance that paper and it is not needed and needed. The students turned their backs on him and one of them shouted. So then students, when they gave the piece of paper to the DSP officer, the student shouted, Mahatma Gandhi ji ki jai. Mahatma Gandhi ki jai. So like the students, they turned back from that place. Others shouted back loudly and then they briskly marched back the way they had come. So then that students all, they were returned back to the where they came. So where they had come from the place. So like this, the students make a procession and gave a piece of paper or requisition to that DSP police officer and they returned back to the place. Is that all? Manju asked the disappointment. Is that all? Manju asked in disappointment. That Manju asked very disappointmently, what else did you want? A dance or a drama? That Manju, he asked that what else? Next, what you are going to do, that a dance or drama? Babu asked scornfully, nervousness. He understood her feelings, and asked Mohan the same question when he returned home. Why did you go back so quietly? So then the Babu asking like this, why did you go back so quietly? There is no disturbance, there is no shouting. So just return quietly. Were you scared of what the police would do? So what the police officer, he answered. Mohan seemed immediately pleased with himself, scared, not in the least. We had planned it this way. We knew they would stop us at the gate. We knew they expected us to protest and be violent. Oh yes, they wanted us to do that so that what they could beat us up and use us away to jail. So if the police, they gave security for us, if the people, if the processioner, they make any violent or violation in that period, then the police officers, they have to arrest the people and put in jail. Not as it always, not until we have given them much more trouble. And so we decided, not until we have given them much more trouble, and so we decided they give them no chance at all. What was the point then? Babu asked, while Manju listened earnestly, her chin tipped in her hands. It is like a declaration of war. We have told them this is war for us and you are the enemy. You do not start a war without first declaring your intentions to you. So here the Babu and Manju, the two students, they were conversating with each others. So here the students, they want to march or they make a procession against the British administration. So this is a march.